you, 19 minutes past 9. You're here with me, Miriam Angel, Salim Barisa, and Emmanuel Gona. I want to say thank you for listening in, by the way, for keeping us company at Swahili Pot FM. Nenda pale social media to at Swahili Pot FM on Facebook, X, and Instagram. And let us know where you're listening to us from. Also, remember, you can listen to us on www.swahilipotfm.co.ke. That is our website. In studio, we have Ulfat, Hussein, Masibo. She's the executive director. I'm one. Ulfat, good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to the show.
Asante sana.
Now, the theme for this year's International Women's Day is Accelerate Action. And the theme highlights the urgent need to drive gender equality through bold, decisive actions rather than slow progress. In a functional society, Ulfat, what does gender equality look like?
I'll pick your highlight of your statement, bold, decisive role that we have to take in this year's theme of women's gender equality. What do I mean? Gender equality at the workspaces, at the home structure, at the school institutions, decision-making tables, and all tables that need decisions to be made. So we must be equal and must be given equal chances for us to be able to exercise our rights, to expose our voices higher. Yes.
Is that the case?
Unfortunately, constitutionally,
yes,
it is supposed to be the case under Article 27 and 81, especially in leadership. But of course, there's a sabotage. I call it sabotage because it is intentional. We are supposed to have this right. The Constitution stipulates it. But when we go to the ballot box, that's where the problem comes. Nomination part, that's where the issue comes. We're never given the right choices, the enough numbers, and enough even voices, even enough spaces or enough power or freedom to exercise our rights as leaders. Yes.
What do we have to ask for it?
We don't have to ask for it. It is there for us. We are supposed to grab it. We are the table.
So why is it not happening? Because the Constitution provides, there's the 2/3 gender rule, and it requires that it limits the number of members of the same gender in elective and appointive positions. So the rule's aim is to reduce gender imbalance in leadership positions. As of now, we don't have a lot of women in these leadership positions.
This 2/3 gender rule, if you have realized, every bill that goes into parliament, it passes very quickly, except this 2/3 gender rule. There's always a sabotage.
Why?
If you look at the history, where there's need to be quorum in the parliament. So parliamentarians will sabotage this bill. And I don't know why. But there's a time our former President Uhuru Kenyatta passed a polygamy bill, placed a bill in parliament. And it was the quorum was too much. So the patriarchy is the syndrome. The patriarchy is the problem. We have a cultural barrier within ourselves as Africans and as human beings at the same time. So this is an intentionally move that we need to come against it and speak our voices loud if we want to accelerate our voices.
Is it that we don't believe in women leaders?
We don't believe ourselves as women leaders sometimes. We're given roles, we're given functions, but sometimes we're exercising and executing our rights. That's where the problem is. And political parties also. There are rules and regulations in political parties. Perhaps a woman is given a nomination slot, but there are rules behind it that we don't know. So we don't understand. But we have progressive, aggressive leaders in parliament. The other parliamentarian who spoke one day and say, I am the bad girl. You're supposed to be the bad girl. You're supposed to talk. You're supposed to be you because we trusted you to be there for us.
Hapo kwenye hili swala la viongozi wanawake. Tuko na magavana 7 wanawake. Na wanakutana kila leo kuchampion kwamba pengine uchaguzi unaokuja tuwe waongezeke wafike 10 ama hata 23 ndio mbalance hiyo ikwishe. Ni 24 wale 24 right kubalance 47 na nani kufikia hicho kiwango ambacho kwamba unazungumza. Huo mchakato wewe unauona kama bado haufanyi kazi because wanakutana I think ni quarterly ama kila wakiwa na kongamano la mwisho wamekutana hapa Pwani Kwale kabla ya Mashujaa. Yes.
Tatizo ni pesa. Unajua financial capacity, financial breadth ya mwanamke ambaye anataka kuwa kiongozi. Sisemi mwanamke hana financial breadth. Sote tunazo, lakini sasa hiyo kwa siasa inataka pesa nyingi. Maanake Afrika tumezoea kutupa pesa kwenye siasa. Ndo mchezo, ndo mambo yetu. Atuangalie policy kwanza. kama wanachama ama kama kupiga kura. So kwa mwanamke inakuta kwamba anapata changamoto cha kwanza. Alafu pia kuna zile mwanamke anachukuliwa kama stereotype, gender stereotyping, kwamba ni mwanamke hawezi. So hizo pia mwanamke zinampatia changamoto. It limits her to have the exercise and the freedom and even the voice. But we have aggressive women who are there representing us and even encouraging other women to go, but we need more. The numbers have to add. Yeah.
Safari imekuwaje? Kwa sababu nafikiria kwa muda sasa tumekuwa tukiongelea swala lenyewe. Ukiangalia pia mashirika sio kijamii wameweka nguvu kazi sana kuhakikisha kwamba wanawake wanapewa zile nafasi sawia. Hii safari inakuwaje? Tunasonga mbele ama bado tuko pale pale tuna mark time?
Safari unawezaona mwanasiasa mwanamke mgombea kiti chochote cha MCA ama cha governor chochote kile, anaanza safari vizuri. Mashirika yasiokuwa ya kiserikali, NGOs, kuna program zao pia wanafanya kuhamasisha na kubuild empowerment ya yule mwanamke aweze kujielewa na kupata nguvu zaidi ya kupata kusimama kwenye ballot box. Sasa pale kwenye ballot box ndio tatizo ambalo liko, ambalo hatufai kuliongelea sana manake liko obvious. So sometimes mwanamke pale anaweza kaibiwa kura, akapewa kura mwanamume mwingine. So these things happen on the ground. There's violations of rights. Wanawake wengine wanateseka sana katika ile zoezi. Unakuta mwanamke ananyanyaswa, anatukanwa, sometimes even na wanawake wengine pia katika jamii. So inampata mwanamke ana challenges ambazo ziko double kulingana na wenzetu. Yes.
I have a report here from it's UN Women, and it talks about women's leadership and political participation. It says that as of 1st June 2024, there are 27 countries where 28 women served as heads of state and of government. Now, at the current rate, gender equality in the highest position of power will not be reached, of course, for another 130 years, because we're looking at 27 countries where 28 women. Just 18 countries have a woman head of state, and 15 countries have a woman head of government. And also data compiled by the UN Women shows that women represent 23.3% of cabinet members, 23.3% of cabinet members heading ministries, leading a policy areas as of 1st January 2024. There are only 15 countries in which women hold 50% or more of the positions of cabinet ministers leading policy areas. That number.
The number is a challenge.
It's marginal. Yeah.
It's on the legal frameworks, the policies we're implementing. You're supposed to strengthen them using the government sector and also the civil society organizations. We're supposed to train ourselves and build strength on our policy implementation, policy development. You'll find on these tables where policy are being implemented, we'll find maybe even the balance on these tables of policy and legal mechanism structures. They are limited. The women's voice is not expressed. You can find a meeting of a policy implementation discussing a woman's policy bill, and maybe sometimes there are many men who are there. So the voices do not represent us. So the problem is the policy. The problem is the law. Because the willingness, the political will we have to drive agenda, the political will to guide our people or to lead our people, we're always there. But now, that's something which is holding us back, is the legal mechanism. So we're supposed to strengthen it for our people.
There's this position that is said in the political space, flower girls.
That's a stereotype.
Are we giving women, especially in the political space, are we giving them the flower girl positions?
There's something called divide and rule.
Yeah.
If you want to rule us, you divide us. So this was a stereotype that was used to divide us on the ground.
Yeah.
And sadly, some others picked it up and others denied to pick it up. So it's an agenda that is used to deprive us of the chances to lead or give us to lose confidence and to fight amongst ourselves. But we're not flowers. We're the trees. Yeah.
Martha Karua has has been in the political space for a very long time.
Yes.
My daughter asked me why we don't have a female president. And I would also ask the same, because I would like to see a country where, I would like to see a Kenya where we have a woman president. Are we ready to get there as a country?
We have been ready since in the 80s. Affirmative action was being established, and founders of affirmative action, Martha Karua was one of them. Charity Ngulu was another one.
Yeah.
Mwendwa, another one. So the affirmative action plan was there in the 80s. So the struggle, there's been a lot of struggle. You can see even they're giving themselves the confidence and giving themselves the oomph to be there. And they're trying legally. One time, Martha Karua was the Minister for Justice. And you remember the incident when she walked out of the podium where the former president was addressing an issue. So she's trying her best since the 80s, and she's still doing.
Yeah.
She's been handling the matter in East African Court in Uganda, exercising his right to protect the opposition person in Uganda.
Yeah.
So she is doing it, and others are being empowered. But the legal mechanisms again.
The legal mechanisms
The
are
policies,
against us.
yes. The structures are not strong enough. You understand? Politically and constitutionally, you're supposed to be given spaces.
Yeah.
But the people there who are guarding those spaces, they don't give us the real spaces that we deserve. But we are aware that we deserve, and we are there.
Okay.
I don't know if you are...
I get you, because you see, you're saying the people who are guarding, and the people who are guarding this, the people who are making the policies, they're men.
Uh-huh. They are supposed to be, everyone to be making policies, but they are guarding the policy implementation part. We have a bill here in Mombasa at the County Assembly. There's SGBV bill. It has been there rotating round and round and round for no reason, because it's a sabotage. Politics is a game. Politics is about the black and white.
I would like to know why it's why is it being sabotaged? Because now I'll equate it back to, so there's the women, and then there are the youths, right? Also, the youths are saying, there's it's not a fair playground, okay? And then even now for the woman, it's not a fair playground.
As I mentioned, there's a patriarchal syndrome that we have. Women are supposed to lead in African society, Islamic structure or Christian structure, but African, trusting a woman and believing in a woman and giving support to our fellow women is still a challenge. It is still a challenge. We are moving, but culturally, we are being brought back. We are being dragged down.
Culture. Yeah.
Okay. Umezungumzia sabotage ambaye anahujumu hapa, pengine tuweze kumjua, kwa sababu nakumbuka miaka ya nyuma ilikuwa ni wakati wa Rais Uhuru mstaafu na Raila. Kuna wakati wali marshal kuhakikisha kwamba wabunge wana deal na hiyo two-thirds gender rule, but ikakataa pale. I remember Aden Duale alikuwa ndio kiongozi wa wengi, na yeye ndio alikuwa mbele pale kuipeleka hivi sheki despite rais na Raila Odinga. But numbers za kina mama hapa nchini ziko juu. It's a fact. Wale wanaopiga kura kwa wingi si wanaume, ni wanawake. Na vijana kidogo wana boost, and then wazee wanachangia sehemu ya hiyo kura. So ni nani ambaye ana sabotage hapa, wakati you have the upper hand in terms of voting? Block mko nayo kubwa, na nyinyi ndio mnaopiga kura kwa wingi ukilinganisha na wanaume. Who is sabotaging the process?
That is the question that even lingers in our heads as women leaders. Who is sabotaging our process? Because we are on the ballot. We are campaigning similar to our counterparts. We are there. But Mombasa pia kuna ile msemo, kula kwa huyu, kura kwa huyu. Kuna hiyo problem. Anakula kwa kote, but mwenyewe anajua. Unajua kura ya mtu haiangaliwi jinsia. Kura ni kura. Haipigwi na jinsia. Sasa huwezi kusema kwamba wanawake wengi sasa hizo ndo stereotype ambazo zinakuja kutukandamiza sisi wanawake katika kuhamasisha kwamba viongozi wanafaa kuwa wanawake. Kura ni ya mtu yote. Anaweza kanipigia kura. Haina tatizo. Sio masuala ya jinsia. Kura ni tu ile willpower ya kunifanyia mimi niwe kiongozi. Unaelewa?
Salima nauliza, are women their worst enemy?
No,
Because
they're not.
If with what he's asked, wanawake wako wengi, sindio? And when we have somebody standing for a political position, I can vote for you, right? And it shouldn't be based on your gender. It should actually be based on the ideologies your manifesto, what you bring, what you present to the table. But also we see that despite our huge numbers, we still don't give you that position. So are we championing, yes, we need women, but then when I go to the ballot, I vote for Gona? Is that also a stereotype?
It's a stereotype because wanawake we are used to being led by men since our days. It's something that is in human character.
Yeah.
We are used to having men as our protectors. And it starts from the foundation of our community.
Yeah.
Baba ndo kiongozi. Hata kwa nyumba ukikaa unasikia baba ndo kiongozi. Siku hizi ukisikia watu wanasema for gender equality, the conversation is changing.
Yes.
Mama ndo kiongozi. The child will ask you, kwani baba aliacha kwa kiongozi? So it is something that is supposed to change. It's a behavior. It's supposed to change the behavior. It's slowly coming and slowly changing until it reaches a point that now gender equality is becoming a threat to our counterparts. They are feeling that we are too fast. We are not too fast. We're trying to be there to reach that balance. So if they're telling us we are too fast, they're pushing us back. In civil society organizations, there are funders who fund gender equality and there are funders who fund anti-gender equality. Yes, so it's a game. So if we're pushing too fast and we hear another agenda coming from somewhere, this is politics. So we are trying as much as I told you, the policies and everything. It's all about the structure and coming down. So we are trying as much as to fight, to advocate for gender equality at the spaces, workspaces, institutions, banking area, these radio stations, for example, working spaces. But now, the politics behind it. Women let each other. We have enough. You don't have enough numbers. We need more numbers.
Yeah.
Now, hapa mahali ndipo mimi napatilia mashaka. Mna magavana ni 7, right? Mna women reps 40 na ngapi? 47. Kuna wale ambao kwamba wamekuwa nominated upande wa Senate na upande wa bunge la kitaifa. Kuna elected MPs, I think some 29. Hawa viongozi wote, with all that bulk of numbers, unataka kusema kwamba mmeshindwa kabisa kuja pamoja as women commercial out against hawa kuconvince, because nimesema hapa nyuma hapo Raila na Uhuru walikuja upande wa kina mama. So is it kwamba nyinyi wenyewe tu ndio mna sabotage? Because kama mko na hizo numbers 29 MPs, 47 women rep, magavana 7, it means that mnaweza mkaja pamoja mnaitwa caucus, Miriam, that one. Yes, right?
Yes.
Kwamba sisi agenda yetu ni hii. Na tunataka kufikia mwaka ujao kwamba iwe hivi. Na it's true, kwenye registry ya wapigaji kura, ladies wako mbele kuliko wanawake. So what's happening that you're not achieving those goals? Ama mmetapanyika tu?
We are achieving, but at a slow
pace.
At a slow pace.
Yeah.
We cannot have conversations where you are still dragging us with the statements that why are we not? Because we are there. We have numbers in parliament. We have numbers in the Senate. We have numbers in the national and the county government, whatever assemblies.
Yes.
We have women leaders. Even in the community, you can see community leaders are always women leaders. Baba mta, mama mta. But the woman, mama mta, is the most active one. The chiefs who are women. Sometimes, because some issues governing or issues addressed at the community level need that touch, a motherly touch, a womanly touch. So we are there. And we are exercising our rights. And there's a woman caucus of politicians here in Mombasa. There are coastal women who are politicians. Hamisa Zaja is one of them, and other women who are there. And civil society members are also members, as trying to strengthen this structure or this movement. Leadership is about movement. Yeah. So, and again, it's politics.
It's politics. You've said something about the culture that I do want to that I do agree with, because it's the culture. And earlier on I asked you why does it feel like we are asking? You know, like we're begging to be put in these positions. Every campaign, and I'm waiting to hear it in 2027. One of the things that will be used is we will work towards getting more women in government, in leadership positions. We will work towards, but they are there, right? So the 2/3 gender rule should have been achieved if we were genuine about
Genuine.
it. Yes, and not, I don't want to use that other word because it's not going to sound very beautiful. But let's look at the workspace. There's a report here by the World Economic Forum. So it states that women in Kenya, that is, it's a 2023 report. Back then, women in Kenya earn 17.7% less than their male counterparts. And so we are seeing, I could be performing the same role as Salim, but my pay is going to be lower than that of Salim, right? Why is this happening? Yet I'm offering the same service as he is,
Or even more.
I'm actually going above and beyond.
It's the policy, the contract of work. When you're reading your contract, as a woman or as a man, before the contract is signed, there's an interview that you go to, and you're supposed to echo what you want from your employer. So information and awareness for all the community members, men and women. Men, maybe they share a lot within themselves. That ukienda pale, omba hii pesa. You get the point. So ladies sometimes take whatever is available, but we not blame them, because sometimes we need to create awareness to our girls while in school. There's this role, there's this pay. You're supposed to ask for a gross pay, net pay, and etc. As per the Employment Act. That's why when you go to file a petition of a labor case, every day the employee will have more rights. So these rights are supposed to be understood by the employee per se. They're supposed to understand my pay, my risk allowance, if there is any, my water allowance, my gross pay, my deductions, and understand clearly. But again, the management is full of men. The owner, director is a man. So sometimes it limits our rights. We can have the voice sometimes, and if you speak too much in an interview, unaonekana that this one is going to bring problems.
You're strong-headed.
This is wewe tatasumbua. Hii ni kichwa ngumu.
They call me a man.
So kichwa ngumu hatakikani kwa maneno mengine, kwa other spaces.
Yes.
So hawatutaki, but sisi wenyewe kichwa ngumu sio kichwa ngumu. Kuuliza mtu mkate yako kuna ubaya gani?
Hakuna ubaya.
Hakuna ubaya kuuliza mkate.
Hakuna ubaya.
Ndio Miriam, hakuna ubaya sana.
At this point Salim.
Bana we, tumenyamaza, mnaenda mkienda.
Umeamua sio?
Hakuna ubaya. When a woman comes up, I hear these things. Oh, that's a strong woman. No, they label you as difficult. When you ask the right questions, when you ask for your right, what you rightfully owed, then all of a sudden you're difficult.
We equate you kama mwanaume mwenzetu.
If you cannot fit into a box.
Why? Because of my loud voice? Or because of I walk with my chest in front?
Yes, like how dare you walk with your chest in front?
So tunakuaccommodate upande huu.
Hapa sio nyumbani, this is not your house.
Yes.
So even in the houses nowadays, even the women can say, baba nani, hii pesa umenipatia, haitoshi.
Say that again.
Hii pesa haitoshi. Na tunafanya kazi sote pamoja. Why am I contributing more? Even in the family structures, you see that women are contributing more. Time, money, and everything else, and life. A woman can sustain a project, which is a marriage sometimes.
Yes.
Even a small mama mboga. You see, women are very, very focused and very resilient.
Marriage kumbe ni project.
Are the odds against us?
It's a partnership.
It is a project. We say that.
It's not a do and die situation.
It's a partnership.
You can get no, you can decide to work out on the project if it's too much.
Leo. Hapa studio people have come.
Marriage is indeed a project. We say it all the time. Yeah, because
it's a partnership. And one day when one of the partners feels like whatever she's getting from the marriage is not correct, they have a right to walk out. Even in Islam itself, marriage is not a do and die situation. In the Christianity part is kufa na kuzikana, in death, but us, it's a partnership. It's mawadda, is love. When the love is finished, my friend, what are you doing?
Walk away.
There's another love somewhere.
Yes.
Ulfat. leo
The love is finished, walk away. Do not be unhappy in that space.
Don't be happy.
Oh,
if you're given blows, you're accelerating action now. If you're given blows, gender-based violence,
Yes.
stop this issue of navumilia. Wazee wetu walivumilia. It's enough. You cannot continue the generational trauma.
Now, nataka sasa the lady, because we're looking at the pay gap. You've meant that, yes, it's true. At times you go there and you're negotiating and there's fear of, I need a job, so I'm going to settle for this. But even in these offices, like I said, I'll use Salim because we're in the same space, okay? Salim ataingia, akai 1 hour atoke. Mi nitakapa, I'll do my 8 hours, okay? And still, Salim earns that. Now, you said it's because of the policy makers. These policy makers are men. Sindio? So are you saying the odds are against us?
Of course they are.
How do we change this?
We change it because if you're given a job, I'll go back to the employee, and your duties entail putting this microphone from this position to that position. Stick to your duties. Stick to your duties. Don't go on and wipe the table. Know your role. Work and go home. If you're paid 40,000, for example, to remove this microphone and clean it and prepare it for the next session, do your work, because he'll do the same and nobody's going to judge. We are being judged because of gender roles. She's a lady. She is supposed to wipe. She is expected. And us, we blend in because we are brought up well by our parents.
Mwanamke ni mlezi.
You see? This is the stereotype. Mwanamke, pia baba ni mlezi. Anaweza kakuwa mlezi akitaka. Si kwamba mimi ni mwanamke. Na anaweza kutaka. Ni kwamba hajaamua tu.
Anafaa kutaka.
Hajaamua tu kwamba let me be mlezi. Let me wipe this table for my colleague. She's coming next session. She's tired today. No. Women are supposed to wipe, to clean. So me as a woman, if you're giving me a job of 40,000, I will stick to my duties. If it's reporting a report from this end to this end, stick and go home. Work and go home.
Work and go home. Salim, why do you look shocked?
Niko shocked leo. Tumevamiwa.
No, hakuna mtu amevamiwa.
Because mimi nafikiria that okay, wanaume ndio ambao kwamba wanapanga mikakati, right? Kwenye venye umesema hapa juu na Miriam amefanya hivi. Hapa juu ni wanaume. Lakini unakuja kwenye hii space ya wanaume. What are you doing to break even? Kwenye hiyo space ya wanaume. Because umekuja umepata ni wanaume. Ukiangalia hapa nje. Yote mimi na agree kwamba mnaonewa. Ukiangalia for example nitapeana na mfano wa mpira. Nao Miriam nowadays anaelewa football. Ligi ya Kenya kuna kina dada na wanaume. Mshindi wa huko anapewa $4,000,000. Huko anapewa $350,000. It's a fact. Iko hapo. Now that mmeamua mtacheza ball. Now that mmekuja hapa huko juu watu wa kuweka policy ni wanaume na Miriam uko hapo na dada yetu pia yuko hapo. Na simfike hapo juu break even uingie hapo katikati wako watano. Mko watano. Ingia hapo katikati, wewe uko hapa katikati, wawili huku na umasho uvute mwingine, Miriam avute mwingine, akuje hapo muhakikishe kwamba zile haki za mtoto wa kike anazohitaji kwamba analipwa 40,000 akae tu akifanya hii, anatakana alipwe 60,000 afanye hiyo ambayo anafanya. So kwa nini hivyo amfanye? Nyinyi kitu ambacho mnafanya, nataka space yangu.
Kuna viongozi wafanyabiashara wakubwa ambao ni wanawake. Ukiingia haraka tu, ingia markiti hapa Mombasa. Haraka tu ingia tu utembee. Utakuta wamama wako na duka kuanzia mwanzo
mpaka yes.
So what I'm trying to say, the narrative has changed. We have women leaders, we have women as directors, we have women board members, we have women PTA members, we have women parliamentarians. We are there, and we are pushing for our sisters. That is why I've seen the numbers increasing. from where it was before the promulgated constitution of 2010 until today, because that time they didn't have the exercise, the fully right and the affirmative action that was created. Nowadays we are progressing. Indeed. That's why you can see our neighbors in East Africa, for example, President Mama Samia Suluhu. She has achieved that. And so it is changing. The wind is changing.
Kama atapigiwa kura ile si
aliangukia ni katiba ilimkubalia. Katiba inasema
katiba ilimkubalia. Hakuangukia.
Haya poleni haya.
Sasa tukiwa pale do you think pengine hizi women empowerment programs maybe hazifocus kwa zile vitu zenye zinafaa kufocus ama zimetia focus kwa side zingine, because bado tukiwa pale kwa maeneo ya kazi watu ndio wanapata hizi nafasi, lakini ukifikia pale kwa mshahara ambao ni fact yenye imewekwa tu hapa utapata bado kuna issues. Is it that because pia mtu anaangalia kwamba sawa pengine nafaa kupata 100,000 na pewa 40, sasa risk ni kwamba nikitoka bado nitaenda kuketi nyumbani. Sijui kama kuna ile energy imewekwa kwengine ama kuko vipi hapo, because ni issue ambazo zina happen hata leo hii.
Nipotaja kwamba mashirika ambayo si ya kijamii NGOs wanahamasisha sana women empowerment and gender equality in equal spaces. Wanafundisha wasichana, vijana kuendeleza, kuji-empower na kuwa confident, na pia jinsi gani. Na pia kuna mashirika mengine ambayo inafanya kazi sana katika policy implementation, inatetea haki sana, kwa mfano kwa jinsia zile za SGBV. Kuna bills ambazo ziko parliament, mashirika ambayo si ya kijamii imeweka zile bills, sio watu wengine. Mashirika ambayo si ya kiserikali ndio wanafanya hizi bidii na kwamba kufanya watu waweze kujielewa zaidi, na wasichana sana wa shule, wasichana wa college and wengine wote hata katika ndoa. So kazi inafanyika. Kazi zinaendelea. Tuko empowered. Lakini nataka tuendelee. Tuende mashinani mfano. Mashinani kuna Kilifi kule Marereni mfano. Kule msichana akisikia empowerment bado. Sasa inafaa tufike zaidi. Ambao pia wengine wanafika mashirika. Inafaa tuende mashirika mengi. Tuhamasishe kwa zaidi. Ili na yeye akija town. Akisikia jina la empowerment. Hashtuki wala hashangai. Anakuta ni jambo la kawaida.
What we're seeing is more yes, there's more happening, but more needs to be done. And a lot of women, we need to reach numbers out to a lot of women, you know.
Kwa hivyo mmefika lakini mwataka zaidi.
Sisi tutataka.
We're not there
tutafika
yet.
Zaidi.
Yes, tutafika. We're not there yet. This International Women's Day, Ulfat,
yes,
what do you have planned? Yeah.
The first thing that comes into my mind, kesho Jumamosi tuko na huduma ya bure, legal aid clinic ya mashirika kijamii ambayo yameshikana, FIDA, Muhuri, Amwan, etc. mengi sana. Tutakuwa pale tunaonoka kuanzia saa 2 mpaka saa 9, maana ni Ramadhani tutaenda sana. Pale kutatolewa huduma ya bure ya legal aid clinic, ambao kuna wamama kwenye nyumba wana kesi zao za kadhi, za wapi, za civil, za criminal, wanaogopa kwenda kwa ofisi kubwa, maybe hawana mapesa. Wakuje pale tutawapatia msaada ya advice, na kama Kenya National Women Commission tafungua file, kama Amwan tafungua file ya kadhi court na FIDA, kila mtu atakuwa pale. Kila mmoja na jukumu lake. So wamama, wasichana, wavulana pia wakuje. Pia wavulana wanaweza kuwa na kesi zao nyumbani na wanaogopa kuja kutafuta wakili, maybe zile gharama ni kubwa. So pale tutakuwa na hizo huduma, na pia kupimwa afya. Cancer screening, Ministry of Health tutakuwa pale, tutakuwa watendakazi wengi ambao tumeshikana in collaboration. Kwa sababu zitembea peke yako. Alafu mashirika ambayo tutakuwa pale mengi ni mashirika ya kina mama. Kwa hivyo bado tuko swalimu.
na bado mwasema bado.
Na bado tunaenda kwa rais sasa next.
It's a revolution.
Hapo ndio target yenu. Ni hiyo ndio target. Hiyo
Salimi kama anaanza kutetemeka.
Revolution.
Mimi namuelewa Salim kwamba anasema hivyo ndio mpate ile motisha mfike pale.
Ni uoga hii.
Si uoga. Ya Salim namjua.
Wewe ni ukweli, lakini ya Salim
ni uoga mtupu kabisa.
Salim uko nyumbani pia mpe mama nafasi yake. Maana nafasi kwa kila mahali.
Mimi hata kulikuwa kuna swali ulivyoanza nikasema pia nyumbani pia.
Nyumbani pia.
Mwataka muwe na usemi sawa kwenye meza.
Si usemi sawa, kile usemi equal. Usemi isikizwe. Si kwamba wewe nyamaza, wewe ni mama. Ufanye.
Nikisema nataka sima ananiambia hutakula sima leo na mimi nikubali.
Sasa hiyo ni nyingine hiyo.
Nimepika wali.
Hiyo mama anatumia mapenzi yako na utakula wali tu. Mama na mdomo. told you. Hiyo ni utapewa wali yako, lakini mama akisema tununue kiwanja pale, naona pale kuzuri, tuchangie pesa fulani, mimi nina pesa fulani, naona pesa fulani, tuchangie tufanye maendeleo, mume wangu, sawa. Because inheritance laws, a woman has even indirect contribution achukuliwa kama contribution. Ngeni hilo. Amekaa pale, amezaa pale, amefikia mafundi wako saa ya kujenga. Nyumba imeinuka. My friend, ile nyumba itakugawa, hata mimi nitapata share.
Si waona?
There's a portion there.
Waona? Ndio hayo.
Illegal aid ukisema.
Ndio.
It's on any case.
Yes, civil and criminal.
Okay.
Kutakuwa na civil upande wa mirathi, upande wa watoto, upande ya haki za zote ambazo umeona italifiana. Kuna kadhi court ambayo shirika yetu Africa Muslim Women Action Network pia itatoa huduma, maana yake wamama Waislamu na mambo yao, wanaume wanatesa huko nyumbani, wakuja huko tuwapatie huduma, tuwafundishe tuenda vipi, tufanya vipi. Kuna kesi za watoto za muhuri, kuna kesi nyingi ambazo utakuja just feel free kuja kiwanjani. Tunaonoka Jumamosi saa 2 mpaka saa 8. Ili jua ikishuka tumeenda kupikia mabwana zetu na sisi pia.
You see?
Kupikia.
I like how Ulfat is talking about like there's a balance in everything. Yes, there's a balance. Yes, I'm going to perform my role as a woman, but then also we pia respect my position.
Usiogope kwamba tutashindwa kupika. No, tutapika, tutazaa, tutafanya kazi, tutakuwa viongozi.
Of course. Na tutakuwa viongozi.
We can do all.
Hapo mahali hapo.
We've been speaking to Ulfat Hussein Masibo. She's Executive Director. Amwan Ulfat, thank you so much for making time.
Thank you.
We have learned, I think we know the trajectory. Hapa kwa station tunasema steam. Steam sema
Panda. Oh, that's a long line. That's an 80s thing.
Yes, it is.
It's still coming back now.
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay.
Wanasema kuna steam.
Like
sasa nasubiri ipande.
We're heading there.